CHODO! Thunder! Authorize.
Hey guys, welcome to the 36th episode of the Soda Pop Podcast. As always, I'm your host of Frozen Stratos. Here with me today we have...
Float like a cheetah, sting like a hornet?
Oh, it's Malunis.
Hey!
And you know what? Today, we're getting gentle with G. Because he gave us some really, really good stuff for the CHODO updates today. But on top of that, we have some Ultraman news and actually some American distribution news that I kind of want to get through. So I want to plow through that at the top just because it might be relevant to you and what you're collecting right now. So obviously everyone heard the news about Tamashii Nations releasing the 1.5 CSM driver. That's old hat, old news. But earlier this week on Twitter, someone made sure to mention us and Vangelis about a listing that they found on Amazon.com. It was from B-Hawk, or at Blackhawk Omega. It was 5 days ago, as of the time of this recording. He managed to find a listing for the CHODO Chronicle Kamen Rider double set. That was Premium Bandai. It's the second one, so it comes with the red axle, axle trial, and skull with skull crystal head. And it's $60. This is retail price, and it's a pre-order. This is kind of unprecedented and a little bit like it's I don't know how to describe it. Kind of too good to be true, I feel like.
Yeah, as soon as I saw that pop up on my feed, I was just like, where is that coming from? Because it does say Bandai as a seller, and
yeah.
I know that previously for Tokunet, I've done articles like shopping guides, which are they talk about officially licensed stuff on Amazon, and I guess that's being put up by Bandai. I don't quite know exactly how Amazon works, like how you know whether it's coming from them, but yeah, this is a thing.
This is insane, and he had posted another listing for what I think is the Another figures, the second Another set on Amazon for $55. That was from another seller, apparently. Mm-hmm. But actually, it's saying Bandai, free returns, one left in. Oh no, sold by EKOHIIKK or IIKI. But this one, it makes no reference to any other sort of sellers. This is weird. Yeah, ships from Amazon.com, sold by Amazon.com. Usually it would say a different seller, but this is our first time seeing premium items on Amazon through Amazon, like officially. So naturally, I pre-ordered two.
You're getting yourself some Amazon Riders.
Why, yes, I am. Except this will actually be enjoyable. I throwing unnecessary shade to an Amazon exclusive series. I know. But I, obviously I need the extra skull crystal. So, I need to pre-order two. And this was the first of that second wave of Premium Bandai figures that they were doing. And I decided to not get that one and try to hunt it down on Mandarake. I thought that was a better idea. And then I was like, my anxiousness got to me, and I'm like, oh no, what if I don't get it? I guess I'd better just get the second one anyway. And then I got the second one locked down with a middleman service. So but this is considerably cheaper. It's free shipping from Amazon. This is Amazon, actual Amazon with a premium item. And I don't know what if anything, Tamashii Nations has to do with this. If they're potentially distributing Shodo to the U.S. We know that it's distributed outside of Japan, at least, because fellow Discord user Adid Nuva is in touch with his own Shodo representative, which is a weird thing to say. So we know that Shodo can make it outside of Japan, and it has, and there are representatives for it. So I wonder if it's sort of, we're getting to that point,
It is. I don't think I would be thinking of this as such an intentional thing if it weren't for that little bit of Twitter drama with Shirakuda last year, or earlier this year, I think.
Was that the Trinity thing?
No, it was where he kind of, because his English isn't great, audience. He basically, I don't think there's much of a Western audience. Yeah. And, he followed it up by saying that, we have tried bringing over Rider a couple different times before, and it didn't seem like it really stuck. And that just immediately made me think of, ooh, Masked Rider, ooh, Dragon Knight.
Dragon Knight's fine.
Dragon Knight, yeah. What I've always heard about Dragon Knight is that it just wasn't really advertised well or something.
I don't know. It's I mean, and we're getting a bit off topic, but it's fun to watch with friends and make fun of.
Okay, so that's probably why it didn't do so well.
Maybe not, but it had style. It was pretty cool.
I think that it and Ryuki kind of have this interesting balance where things that I don't like about Dragon Knight, I like about Ryuki, and vice versa.
Okay.
But anyway, just because of that whole Shirakuda thing, the positive ending to that whole Twitter discussion was that he basically said, hey, we can try to see if we can make this work. Yeah. So now I'm seeing this, I'm thinking, I wonder if that's actually a step forward. And I'm also thinking of the fact that Ultraman has recently decided to go worldwide. I imagine that some people at Bandai are kind of just like very nervous as they're seeing that news. Because
I'm glad it's starting a competition to force their hand.
I was about to say, they are definitely competitive about it because, if I'm remembering correctly, the reason that the confusion with Kamen Rider Hibiki is that whether or not it was intended to be a writer show. I believe the actual answer is that they weren't going to do a writer show that year, but they didn't want to get left behind when other franchises were continuing to produce new content that year.
See, I always heard that Hibiki as a concept was by Ishinomori, and his children went to Toei and said, hey, we want to do this, and we want it to do well, so we were wondering if we could use a Kamen Rider name for this story, and then just do that. And then they did it, but then in production, things shifted around. They didn't like how it was going, and they turned it into more of a Kamen Rider thing.
I would recommend a video on YouTube by Lost in Tokusatsu, one of my friends, who did a nice video about the history of Hibiki.
Oh, cool. Yeah, so definitely do that.
That's something I really appreciate because when I was getting into the fandom almost a decade ago at this point, that's kind of scary, there were like 2 or 3 different versions of how Hibiki may or may not be a writer show.
Oh, okay. Yeah, was...
These days, I am very much into just like correcting incorrect info in fandoms.
Yeah, like the only place I got my information from was like a Tumblr blog post from like that one Super Sentai dude. Yeah. Oh, but main point.
Yes.
If you want these, please support them. If Middleman's priced you out of getting this is your chance. Do it now. I'm excited for this set. Again, if you're on the fence, like this is double Shodo figures. I'm into it. Again, I don't want to pressure anyone who's not financially stable enough to make that jump. But if you can support it, please do. Maybe it'll send a message over to Bandai to do this more. I pre-ordered too, so yeah.
You're doing the thing that you should be doing, which is speaking with your wallet.
Exactly. Precisely. But yeah.
Even if your wallet doesn't like it.
It certainly doesn't. Alright. So let's talk about some Ultraman stuff before we dive into the CHODO blog post. Because we can actually afford to do this in chronological order this time. So let's see. Let me pull up my post. Yeah, so CHODO Ultraman, it highlighted a brand new premium Bandai set. And it was all about the first episode of Ultraman Tiga? Tiga, right. And there are a few things to note here. So first of all, it comes with a Tiga power type, sky type. The monsters are Golza and Melva. And then a statue version of Tiga with two different Ultraman statues that sort of just collapsed within the first episode. Spoilers, I guess. I didn't watch it. So they're more like sort of set dressing, and they can actually break apart. Like they have a play feature where you can just blow them up, and it's pretty neat.
Nice.
Yeah, so that's cool. Man, my posted it weird, so things are sort of out of order. That's not right. But yeah, statues look cool. And then this is the first time they're doing larger villains. And they said that let's see. The lineup of monsters has also received many requests, but because there is always a volume, it is difficult to line up regular bullets. That's why the lineup is limited to premium Bandai, leaving a sense of size with Ultraman. So basically they're saying these things are too big to produce. Either they're too big to produce at a high volume, or they have too much of a volume to be produced at retail. I don't know where the term volume is being used, but
I wonder if that's kind of like with Transformers, where each size class kind of has its own set budget. So it's almost like they're saying, we can't fit an entire bulky monster within the budget of a regular Ultraman figure.
Yeah, that's pretty much what they're getting at here. And that's neat. I'm glad they found an avenue to at least get some of these out. I know it's premium Bandai. That really sucks, but at least they're making it. So Melba is particularly large with a width of about 17 centimeters on both wings. Gorza has a thickness and tail, making it quite a sense of volume. So I think volume is supposed to be attributed to the characters themselves. Yeah. So
maybe a
they're
sense
huge.
of scale.
Huh?
Maybe volume is supposed to mean like sense of scale.
Well, I was thinking volume like the term of measurement, like high volume. You know what I mean? So these are just massive characters that they get to do here in premium. Also, repaints of Tiga that are sky and power forms now, and they've got effect parts, so that's neat. Pew pew, as it were. And they did say, hey, look, we know this is a lot of Tiga, and there are other Ultraman, and we want to make them. So maybe if this does well, we'll be able to do more. That sounds like to me that CHODO is like on its last legs. Which kind of sucks. Yeah, so I don't know, if you want these, go ahead and support them. It doesn't look like they're doing too well. But yeah, it's CHODO is a good time, I presume. So if you want it, go ahead and preserve it, pre-order it. I saw reservation and almost tried to say pre-order, but yeah. So if you want it, go support it. That's a thing where I'm not as interested. I wish I could support it, but sadly, yeah. Anything? Did you want to say anything on this matter at all?
All I was going to say is, speaking of things that are a fun time that we would love to preserve, the current quality of CHODO.
Let's get gentle today.
Ooh.
Yes. Malunis, so you wanted to do this blog post today. Why don't you walk us through it gently? Also, I did have a question. What is your note-taking process, your super speedy note-taking process that you used this time?
This time, I just kind of used the Twitter thread as my notes.
Oh, okay.
But usually I write really simple notes that are usually kind of goofy, but they're those kind of notes where it's like, when I look at it, I'll know what I meant when I wrote it down.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good. I hope you guys were able to understand it. This is my first time reading through the post itself, so this will be a good time. Or through Malunis' post of it.
So, Valkyrie and Lightning Hornet. I refer to this as, this is the day that Mr. G warned us about, where they would have to use a lot of stickers instead of paint.
I mean, they did use a lot of paint, just not in the places we were expecting.
Oh yeah. Plot twist. But
yeah.
First of all, even on the head, there's a fair amount of paint just to get all those little yellow details on the crest. Or there's a fair amount of stickering just to get that detail across. And, it looks good, though. And you can definitely see why it needs those stickers, because of all the little honeycomb details.
I mean, sure. Sure.
I was going to say that I can see it being painted gold, but I feel like then having an extra little bit of black paint inside the gold seems like it would be a little excessive.
I guess you're right.
I just thought... with that sort of logic, I think this technically looks better than just having gold paint.
That's fair.
But, after we got the attaché... What was it called again? Sword? Blade?
Shotgun?
No, I was thinking of the 01's weapon. I was trying to think what it
caliber.
Was. Oh, there was that. Good word. Attaché caliber. We got that in the first wave, and I was here thinking recently, when are we going to get the shotgun? They already did the gorilla form. They didn't really, or the Kong form, and they didn't really include it there. And turns out it's right here. It looks a little bit strange. I don't remember it being having a front like that.
What do you mean a front?
Well, like that sort of it's almost like there's like something covering, what is it called? Wrist guard?
Oh, like a guard thing. I mean, like that's I feel like that area there, the place that guards it, that's sort of where you grab it when it's a suitcase. Right.
All right. Just full disclosure, I haven't watched the last few episodes of 01 yet, so I'm just kind of half remembering what the shotgun looks like.
Okay,
I just looked at this. I just looked at this and thought, that doesn't seem quite how I imagined it.
That's fair. Yeah, it is. It's slimmer, just like the attached caliber, and I actually do have that one in hand. And we can talk about it later. I know we didn't discuss a topic. I did have thoughts on Shodo that I wanted to say, but anyway. The blog post.
No meat removal on this one.
Absolutely not. The meat's all here.
Yes, and you also get an extra set of fists, which I'm a little bit mixed on, because it's doing that thing where it's an alternate pair of fists that are a completely different color than they should be.
Yeah, I mean, obviously they show it looking pretty good on Vulcan, and I feel like it's just another one of those cases where, like, Well, we're still molding in blue, and we've got like, this entire steel mold, and we're already devoting blue to it, so we can't really do anything else about it.
Yeah. It's like, I get it, but then I'm like, man.
Yeah, it sucks, and I feel like we might get something better later.
Oh, and just the little plot twist that I mentioned before is that the shins are actually painted white. Because, yeah, all this plastic is dark blue.
Yeah, so what they were saying something specific about it, like due to how it was molded before, it has to be this way. Or however something was molded.
I'm not sure. I thought I saw something about thickness in there because that seems to be the word to describe Valkyrie.
Oh, yeah, okay. That's where the volume is, by the way.
Mr. G is down with the thickness.
Oh, no. But yeah.
So yeah, that's going to be in Wave 3.
Yeah.
In December.
So, yeah, and it's looking nice. They did, I don't know if you put it here, but they did have a little note about the stickers. And we had a little blurb from the person that puts the sticker detailing together.
Oh, I did see something about how it's like a very small detail.
Yeah. And I'm trying to look for it here. I thought they mentioned it when they showed off the belt crest. I wanted to say... to be honest, I think that it's hard to see. So when you actually stick the seal, please stare seriously.
That's what it was.
And then there's a story behind a designer who challenged the smallness. Since the honeycomb structure is too strict to paint, it is easy to rely on seal on the rock, but I'm glad if you can stick it with the designer's thoughts. So I guess this is me interpreting Google Translate. This might not be it, but like, stickers may seem like a cop-out in terms of detail, but they did put a lot of work into making it, so if you want, please appreciate it, especially the small, tiny details within the little sticker for the belts, because it's tough to see, and they definitely didn't need to attempt to render it at all, and they did.
Yeah, they were showing the close-ups and how, like, even with how tiny they are, you can see the individual progress keys. Like the little symbols that go with each of them.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, so I know stickers suck, but there's still a considerable amount of work and like dimensions that they need to keep in mind. So it is tough. It is their job, and they work really hard on it. So please appreciate it if you can. Yeah. Anyway, you may continue.
Something else to appreciate is a new commemoration for AI-01, a temporary segment, which I didn't seem clear to me whether this was going to be in multiple posts or not, but it is called Mr. G Gives You a Good Answer Gently, or Project G4. Pretty sure that's
Let's get gentle.
Yeah. That's how all the build forms end with yeah?
Yeah.
My favorite one is, it's one of the ones that you only get to see in the arcade game, Uni Racer, which is Unicorn and Eraser. It has my favorite version of that, where it's just like this very sensual, yeah.
That's fantastic.
Just like, man, I wish I had a high quality version of that. Anyway, the first thing, this segment, by the way, is basically he's reading off some comments that he's received on the questionnaire, it sounds like. Mm-hmm. And his first one is, please sell at more shops, or this isn't at my nearby store. And he basically just lays out, like, these stores, the salespeople are doing their best, and the stores, if they have a lot of stock left over from the previous wave, they might not be as inclined to stock the new wave. So if you want to support CHODO, support it with your money.
Yep.
Yes, and yeah, that's basically how stores operate.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, turns out.
Yes, and the second one is one that I've been waiting for a while. I want hands for the 0-1 pose, and it turns out those are in fact in the works.
Yep.
Like,
it's such a power move to have just put that all on display.
It's like, when I saw the first question, I was just like, okay, where are you going with this? And then I got to the second one, oh.
Yeah, he's like, you want them? Here you go!
Prototypes.
Yeah. These are great.
They do. And these are almost exactly the type of hands that I was trying to make for my quiz figure.
Oh, shoot. Yeah, that's
just
perfect.
Just like on the left side.
Yeah. Wow.
But yeah, he does make a point of saying that even though these are being made, they won't be showing up for a little while. So I'm guessing maybe a couple waves.
Mm-hmm.
And the other thing that he points out, I wasn't entirely sure on this wording, but I decided to toss it in anyway. It makes him... It sounds like there's room for more option parts like this. The way he phrases it almost sounds like he's saying, we still haven't completely figured out what we're going to do for like option parts, so feel free to let us know if there's anything in particular you want in the questionnaire.
Oh, cool.
That's how it sounds anyway. And he also tosses out this thing that I was also not sure about, where he mentions out of the ordinary CHODO option parts will also be made. So that to me...
Interesting.
The wording seems to suggest to me that he's saying, hey, if you want an option part that's a type of thing that we don't normally do, we're open to it. And for some reason... like...
Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, the first thing that came to mind when I saw out of the ordinary, I thought, effect parts.
Oh. See, I was thinking in the realm of like hand options. Like, I'd love it if the EX set came with extra hands that were holding the phones or his phone, or just progress keys in general.
I think that would actually turn out pretty nice if you had him, because the phone is just like a flat surface, so you can easily make a hand that's holding a phone with a spot to put a sticker.
Yeah.
Yeah. And because we were just talking about CHODO Ultraman, I was just thinking, yeah, it's not technically out of the realm of possibility to see effect parts at this scale.
Yeah.
And yeah, that when I wrote that tweet, I basically just said that's certainly a phrasing that can spark some speculation.
Definitely. And I mean, really, it's sort of up to us, the fans, and what we want, because they might attempt something, and I'm excited for that prospect. And you know, it's another one of those things where like CHODO's so great because they give so much I guess credit, or not credit, they give so much weight to our opinions and what we want, and like they're very receptive to it, and they listen. They showed us hands that we wouldn't have otherwise seen just yet.
Yeah, he even outright says, like, I can't tell you what the lineup is going to be, but it should be okay to show this much.
G-Man's great. He's good.
And we're a little bit far from the speculation comment, but one thing we don't have to speculate about is what's happening next week, because he says, in addition to a 0-1 reveal, CHODO O's.
Yep.
Because I know that we've brought this up before because I saw that it was coming out in December. I think this might be the first time we've seen that proper date, which is December 2nd, so right at the start.
Oh, cool.
That's kind, because I imagine that the CHODO 0-1 wave will probably be later in December.
Mm-hmm.
Gotta space those out.
Yeah.
Oh, and
I'm excited.
Very fun little extra he provides. One of the photos that he did of Valkyrie here was just kind of like running against the wall, floating, and he makes the comment that there are even people within Bandai who have just kind of asked him, like, hey, do you edit your photos or something? Because I don't see a display stand. And he reveals that no, in fact, he's just very strategic with where he places them.
That mentality is so cool to me, because like I mean, obviously they use that within the show itself, like having things slightly off screen, not even having to paint things out to create really cool effects. That's dope.
Yeah, it also reminded me, I don't think this is a recent thing anymore, it's been a while, but occasionally when I would be scrolling through Instagram and see like toy photography, one thing that I would see pop up once in a while is someone would show kind of a cool shot like this, and then like the next photo would be a little video clip to just kind of show you what it looks like at other angles, a little behind the scenes of how they set it up. And I thought it's cool to see that from this blog, because I never really even considered this.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, what a gentle time with G that we just had.
Yeah.
That was lovely. Did you have any more comments you wanted to make about the Sting Valkyries B thing, that form? Buzz?
Looks good.
Yeah. It's a good time.
I was actually going to say I'm looking forward to more O's.
Yeah, coming up.
He shows that photo again of another Deno with the obviously photoshopped Gatakiriba clones.
Yeah.
And he basically just says, I wonder if this can finally graduate from being a Photoshop.
I feel like they are. Man. Next blog's going to be pretty crazy. And this is going to be our first time actually getting, like, in-hand images. Like, we've seen so many pre-production images that, like, I don't know, I just thought we'd never get them. I don't know why I thought that, but I guess it just wasn't on my mind. So I'm excited for it.
Yeah, what I'm also excited for, actually, is now that we're closer to the release, I'm now just thinking, like, when are we going to see the next series that they're going to tackle?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I'd want them to sort of finish up Deno, but and do that one last set of double. But outside of that, what are you gunning for? That'll be one of our topics right now. So, what is the next CHODO Chronicle set, you think?
Well, I know that so far the criteria has just been, like, here's a very highly popular series that we're coming back to because it is easy to just kind of market this. So, I'm just thinking now, like, what other series was really popular? Was Forza popular? Was,
Well, here's the thing. We also need to consider what works gimmick-wise and what writers don't.
You know what? I just answered my question now that you've brought that up, and also the subject of popularity. I really want Gaim.
That will be an endeavor. That would take a long time, I'm sure, because like we have so much to get through, and it looks like they're so committed to doing all of it. Do you think they'll? Wow, that's gonna be a big step.
Yeah, that's a big ask. I realize.
Yeah, and that's like recent memory stuff, because everything we've gotten so far had a candy toy line, but they'd been so long ago that, you know, it might not be, people might not have access to them anymore. That's why they do these now. But Gaim, it's so recent.
Yeah. And, you know, we talked about it last week. Wizard, that seems like a pretty fun one.
Well, I mean, I thought we came to the consensus that would be a shodo.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
Well, I just want to see Wizard regardless.
That's fair. I do too. But my pick, honestly, I know they haven't. No, they did with Deno, but I think you know, going further back than Decade, you know, I I want Kabuto, and it's up in the air whether we get that in Shodo or Soto, because they did make a Shodo version already, but now with shodo-x, where they are again committed to doing just about everything.
I was about to say, technically, wouldn't you say that Kabuto and O's have the equal amount of opportunity for Soto because they were both in Shodo?
They're both what?
Like, wouldn't Kabuto be as likely as O's because they were both in Shodo?
Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. Same with Double. So I like, with X being like their new standard, would Kabuto still fall under that umbrella? Is kind of what I'm trying to say. And I think that it's more Soto than it is Shodo, just because they could add that cast off gimmick.
I always forget about Kabuto being a possibility, and as soon as you say it, I'm just like, yeah, why wouldn't they?
Right? Like, I so very much want it.
All the armor swapping just happens at the top. Like,
exactly.
All you got to figure out is how to do the armor. And I'm sure that they've got something they can do, because I admittedly have not looked at the X8 stuff yet, but I know that Hunter Gamer exists, so they figured out something for armor.
Yeah, and I mean, I have a feeling if they were to do it, it would be a shoulder armor swap, and then just have that detailing sort of hang off the side, possibly.
Or, now that we brought this up, I just realized, I guess with 0-1, they've also demonstrated that they're cool with just having swappable limbs.
That's true to an extent, but it's like, it's still the same figure. You still want to recreate their whole thing is recreating the gimmick, right? And I don't know if limb swapping would be as conducive to that gimmick. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I can see it going either way personally, just because I always think back to with the first Geo reveals, they were talking about how, like, we were considering doing the armored body this way, but then we thought it might just be easier if it was its own figure. Because their thought process was, we kind of want this to look really good rather than having take some liberties with it.
That's fair. Yo, now that I'm thinking about it, you know what figure or what rider would, instead of Soto, like within the Heisei Phase 2, you know what rider would work better in Shodo than it would in Soto?
Drive?
Exactly, Drive. Wow, you read my mind.
Wow,
what a surprise Drive!
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because as you were describing it, I was thinking, yeah, the tire thing doesn't seem like it works for Soto.
Yeah.
It definitely, now you mention it, yeah, it's just like, Shodo is okay with doing kind of swappable parts like that.
Pretty much. Like, especially with what we've seen with Agito. They're not afraid to do effect-ish swapping. It's just that Shodo doesn't really do, outside of one main wave, like themed waves as a part 2. You know what I mean? Like, they haven't done 2 back-to-back, like, rider-specific waves, if that makes sense.
Like, they didn't do it with Ryuki.
Yeah. So, I don't know. Yeah, this is just our speculation, but, maybe Ghost. I wonder.
I'd be down with some nice proportional Ghost figures.
Yeah, same. Huh. Because, like, you could definitely do it in Soto, and you'd just have to swap the head out each time, like... But I don't know. Shodo, it might work, especially since it's, like, mostly black anyway. Like, they don't have to put too much into the paint budget. It might work better there. Who knows? I'm honestly really excited for the future of Candy Toy. Just between the two lines. I like that they complement each other.
Yeah. Like, someone was on my Twitter feed was just recently showing like what was it? They had recently gotten the Shodo Hibiki, and then they showed a group shot of their collection of lead writers so far, and it's like it's a mixture of Shodo and Soto, and they look pretty good together, just like proportionally.
Yeah, I mean, like they're slightly off, but it works. Really, the only figures that don't exist are Blade, and that's it. Kiva exists in Shoto verses. Yeah. So actually, Kiva would definitely work better in Shoto. Like as like a full wave, because I feel like you could also do his partner monsters.
Oh, like figures of them.
Yeah.
I'd love that.
Especially to like if they did another Kiva, then you could get 2 sets of those monsters.
Ooh.
That'd be dope.
Yeah. And also the like part swapping for the form changes that also checks out, and that means that you can kind of just work in the fusion of those forms, which has the dumbest and most wonderful name, Dogabaki. It's just like the first syllable of each form.
That's lovely. Yo, I wonder if Geo is so far away now, like it's not too far away, but like when it's not airing. So what if they released Shodo Kamen Rider another Kuga under Shodo rather than Soto?
That'd work. I thought you were about to say, what if they just make figures of Geo and Gates? And I was going to say, yeah, that actually does look like it would look good.
I mean, that definitely would, especially since they're like all solid colors. But like, I'm still thinking for Josh here. Rip Josh, since he's still he's at home right now, and he cannot record with us. But yeah, I'm wondering if that's a better option, Shoto rather than Soto, because they can get finer details. I don't know.
Possibly.
Yeah. But yeah, anyway, hey, I got a box, and I did an unboxing on this channel if you want to know what's all in there. But I got another 2. I got AI01, but I also got shodo-x 6. I got the Kuga set. Or, yeah, no, Agito. Yeah, I got the Agito set. And man, I have words.
Uh-oh.
I have not good words.
Oh, no.
Because whoever the hell put my box together gave me the worst possible QC figures they could find.
Here we go, count 0.
Yeah, so, yeah, count 0 good things. Except I have a few. Because there are good things about this. Like, Kuga at all. God, Agito at all. Having Agito at all. Again, my only figure that I had for Agito was one single 66 action figure. And that was it. So it's nice to like finally fully fill out my Agito area. So whenever I get my own place and have my own display, I'll have an Agito. But
nice.
Oh, and also the bike is really cool. It does not do like
it's got a
it parts forms. It parts forms to get there. It doesn't parts. It does part swap actually, just one piece though, and it parts forms to get there. But the thing is, the box was so beautifully distributed. It has some of the best distribution I've ever seen.
For a second, I thought you were gonna say whoever packed your box gave you the worst distribution.
Oh no! They gave me.
I got
the best
half
box.
a bike and 7 Agitos.
But here's the thing, you know, even the Black and Black RX set that gave me just an extra bike that I don't know what to do with, and maybe 2 extra figures. But here, potentially 1 extra bike or none, because I could use that extra bike as just the bike and keep this one as the riding mode.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. And everything else you use because, the way that they built these figures, they basically give you 2 Agito ground forms, 2 Agito Trinity forms that we don't know about yet, and then 1 Shining form plus an accessory set. You take out 1 ground and 1 Trinity to keep as themselves, and then you use the parts from ground and Trinity and the accessory set to build out your Flame and Storm forms. Yeah. Right? Is those the names? Yeah. And it doesn't come with enough weapons to give to both, or to Trinity, to Storm and Flame, but that's fine. That's serviceable. I understand. And they also give you that extra frills out piece for Agito's head as an extra head. So I think it was distributed beautifully. You get everything you need in one box, barely any extras. It's perfect. And the look... Huh?
I was going to say, so how did they screw you over?
Okay. I one last good thing. They look good. They did say that they wanted to make it proportionally better, and it worked. It definitely worked. What's bad about the look is, and I don't know what's causing it. I have a feeling it might be the silver paint that they were boasting about, but on almost all of my horns on the right side, it's gunked up, on the horn. It looks like there was too much plastic in there. There's just so much gunk in the mold, and it didn't marble or anything. At least, because there's paint applied, I can't see it, but it looks like there's string on it on all of them, and a similar pattern on each. So it leads me to wonder, is it a molding issue rather than a painting issue? The paint got gunked up, or was the mold just bad and it came out with this really grainy product? It's on both the eyes on most of them. It doesn't look good, and it made me really upset. But I could have lived with it, except that extended to one of the arms on my Storm form, and that one just has heavy gunk on what's supposed to be a really sharp line down the center of the glove cuff. It looks horrible. It looks like a pulsating mass just on top of his glove cuff. It doesn't look good. Again, some of the marbling looking stuff is more present than others. I think I have one helmet that came out fine, which to me that says that the machine was able to make it okay at some point, and I don't know what else it could be. Maybe it is the paint that's sort of gunking it up. The silver paint that they were boasting about is what ultimately screwed it up. I don't know, but it might be the case. I don't want to make any assumptions. Also, I do want to cite this as a positive. I was afraid of swapping out the chest armors and the belt armor, or the belt. It was a little difficult, but I got it done, and you don't need to do anything else. It doesn't pop off. However, it leads to a bad, which is the weird shoulder connection, because it connects to the front of the shoulder armor, and the shoulder armor is connected to a what's that space in between your neck and your shoulder? What is that? Well, the space in between your neck and the shoulder, that's that plus the shoulder piece itself is all one part. So, like, the connection is at the front of the chest. The back of the chest is not anchored at all, so it just floats in the back and it doesn't look good. It just sort of lives. That was not executed well. I really wish there was a place for that to sort of sit, or for it to be anchored or something. I just don't think that area was thought out as well as it could have been. And then also, moving down, we've got the legs, and for as much good they did on the sort of making it closer to the body, match the body sculpt, the ball joints in the hips they have more friction in them than the thigh swivels, so the thighs will just tend to wiggle all around when you're trying to move just the ball joint, and it's really aggravating, especially when you're trying to get it in a good pose. And like they'll stay in place when they need to, but they are a bit of a mess, like ragdolling around. Then let's get to the feet. Sure, they stand really well, but when you couple it with the foot holster that connects to the bike, the foot always, for almost all my figures, the foot's connection to the ball joint of the actual figure is so loose that it gets stuck in the foot sock thing, like the little foot area connector. And it's always a pain because I want to have him riding it, and coupled with the really loose hips, it makes it really hard to pose on top of the bike. Yeah, so it's got its flaws, and I don't know that I can recommend this set. Even though, like, this, Agito doesn't get much, and I personally haven't watched Agito. I just wanted a complete toy shelf, and I do want to see it eventually, just because G3 looks so cool, but that's neither here nor there. This set was a pretty big disappointment. And it definitely could have been down to my QC, but please, if you've got this set, please reach out, say something in the comments. I want to know if I'm the only one that has this issue.
Yeah, I was going to say, just specifically the kind of messiness of the paint. I was thinking to myself that I'm sure if they were boasting about this and this was the result, you may or may not hear them follow up on it at some point.
Yeah. Oh, also, one of the eyes on my frilled horn, one of those eyes, the paint sort of just stops. I want to say like 1/10 of the way through for one of the eyes. Like, it's all silver still, but like the red on top of it just sort of stops underneath. It doesn't. It's bad, dude. Like, I don't know what's wrong with this set. I don't know what's wrong with the QC here. I'm really sad.
Man, poor Agito. That's a simple design to.
I know.
How do you mess that one up?
I don't know. I guess the silver paint is is the culprit. I don't know. But man, I was hoping this would be fun, and it coupled with I feel like if it was one of those problems, well, I feel like if I didn't have those gunky QC issues, I'd be more inclined to forgive the loose thighs. But altogether, it makes for a really depressing experience.
Yeah. And
I don't know. Again, this is something I was looking forward to because I don't have Agito stuff. And yeah, this was a letdown. Big time letdown. But not Spider-Man. So yeah, that's I've said my piece on this. That's it for Shodo Agito. We're gonna wait on covering AI01 since Malunis is getting it. and then gonna wait on another 2 because Josh has it and we can talk about it with him, I think, next week. So look forward to that. Yeah, Malunis, do you have anything else you wanted to talk about this episode at all?
No, I think this is a solid episode all around.
Yeah, definitely. And as always, I'm slowly uploading the older episodes of the Soda Pop podcast onto our Anchor channel, our Anchor account, and you guys will be able to view it or listen to it on Apple Podcasts, on the Google Play Store? I don't know where it is there. Google Podcasts, the Anchor site itself, Spotify, anywhere you listen to podcasts will be there, which is a really cool thing we get to say. I really appreciate everyone who's been listening to those older episodes, because people have gone through and listened to them. I really appreciate it. That's really cool. And hopefully we'll get to a point where we are going 1-to-1 with every release of this episode and on Anchor. But yeah.
Yeah, how far along are you with that?
I'm in the 20s.
Nice.
Yeah.
You're almost there.
So, yeah, almost there.
Yes. Also,
and yeah.
Check out the Discord.
Oh, yes. Please check out the Discord. It's where you'll get our most up-to-date updates. It's where you'll get, if someone finds a listing, they'll put it on the site, or put it on the that channel. And we'll all benefit from it and get our pre-orders on time.
And I've also, whenever I want to talk about SODO, I either do it here or I just drop it on Twitter, and maybe someone will like it. And since we've had this Discord, I've just kind of used that as a place to just drop a thought or just take a photo. It's been fun.
Yeah, it's our Discord's a good time. Everyone's really nice. I guess, I mean, it's a good time. So please go check it out. I mean, we're all trying to help each other, especially with, finding listings and stuff. So keep on the lookout for that stuff. Also, we put up a bunch of extra stuff on the channel last week. I don't know how regular that's going to be, but if you want more extra content, if you want more unboxings, let us know. I know a few people tuned into that. Very much appreciated. Yeah, that I feel like that's about it. Send Josh some love, I guess, since he's not here. Yeah, guys, thanks for watching. Keep it juicy
and gentle.
Tries. Piercing needle with incredible force.
CHODO